Hey there, welcome. We're talking today about Pisces ruling the third house. We're going to look at, if you have this placement, the ways that your thinking and communication style are intuitive, even psychic, the shadow patterns that can show up in your mind and voice, how to reclaim that energy, and how to reclaim your power as a visionary, very deeply feeling communicator in your life and work and all that you are. If you've ever felt that your brain doesn't quite work in a straight line or people don't get the way things process, this is for you. This is part of a series on house rulership. We are looking at every arena of your life using the whole sign house system. So if Pisces rules your third house, we're talking about your communication style. Keep in mind that your communication style, however, is also shaped by other placements in your chart, like your Mercury sign, like any planets that you have in your third house, aspects to Mercury and Neptune. So as we explore having Pisces on the cusp of your third, it's also important to keep in mind the whole picture, your whole chart, and look at yourself from a holistic perspective. With that in mind, with Pisces ruling your third house, your mind doesn't necessarily work naturally in linear ways. It's fluid, it's sensitive, it's very deeply intuitive. You don't just process facts, you pick up tone, subtlety, mood, energy, and you know things without knowing how you know them. Pisces in the third brings energy that could show up like the empathic storyteller, the intuitive communicator, or the dreamer who speaks in images, metaphor, mood. It's also the person whose frequency says just as much as their words. You communicate in essence, in frequency, as much as you do with the literal words you say. You may have a natural gift for spiritual teaching, writing that moves people emotionally, or speaking in a way that unlocks something subtle in others. And often your best insights don't come through thinking per se, but through dreams or stillness, or you may even have a strong connection to water. Some shadow sides of this placement to be aware of can include difficulty completing thoughts or articulating clearly, because there's just this flow and there's all this watery space that your mind may be existing in, especially under pressure. Another thing to be aware of is doubting the value of your ideas, or this is a biggie, over-absorbing the energy of others in conversations. If you've struggled in traditional learning environments or felt pressure to explain yourself in a particular way, it may be that those ways of explaining and learning just didn't match how you process. And sometimes this leads to a tendency to shapeshift, to try to fit in, or even to stay vague, because you weren't supported in trusting your own kind of clarity. Your clarity is different than a lot of the clarity that you've been taught in school. To work with this energy, to work with your gifts, I want to invite you to give yourself permission to communicate in waves, in energy, not in steps, to use your intuition as a valid form of intelligence, and to set energetic boundaries around who gets access to your space and who gets access to your thoughts, because your mind and your thought patterns are so naturally boundaryless and ready to absorb everyone else's energy and texture and frequency very fluently. So that can be a gift when you're aware of keeping your own energy yours, of keeping that clarity and that boundary around you. Let your voice carry your truth, even when it's subtle, symbolic, nonlinear. You're not here to communicate like everyone else, is the biggest message of this placement. You're here to transmit, to move people emotionally, to communicate through feeling and essence and presence, as much as the literal words you use. And the more you trust your own rhythm and allow yourself to be in these waves and be in these rhythms that are yours, the more your voice is going to come through. Once again, this is just one dimension. So if, for example, if you have Mercury in Capricorn, that would bring a clarity or structure to the otherwise dreamy nature of your Pisces third house. Or if Mars is in your third house, your communication may carry more of an urgency or decisiveness or fiery clarity. So we always want to bring the full chart into view when working with these layers. That's when the truth really lands. But the takeaway for you here is to trust your intuitive, floaty, dreamy spaces in whatever ways they are showing up in and through the ways you communicate, and maybe also the ways you teach and you learn. The way your thoughts work, the way your mind works, gets to be in a flow, in a rhythm, in a wave-like energy or watery, spacious process that feels like you. If this has been helpful, check out the next video on your fourth house of house and home and how you show up there, how you show up in the inner spaces. And please like and subscribe if this has been helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.